This is The Clash, where the real world clashes with a true Christian worldview. Join former professional wrestler Chris Whaley, known as the Masked Saint, who is an author, pastor, and teacher that brings his wrestling skills into the squared circle and tackles real-life issues. Along with Jeff Dixon, best-selling author, internationally known teacher, leader, and pastor who is not afraid to tackle the tough issues of the world we live in. Together they form a tag team of wisdom in The Clash.
Hi, welcome to The Clash, where we take a Christian worldview, we allow it to clash into the culture around us, we educate, entertain, encourage, enlighten, and whatever E word you want to put in behind that.
Yeah.
I'm Jeff Dixon, and I am one of the hosts, and I'm joined by the one, the only, the saint himself, Dr. Chris Whaley. Hey, Doc.
Man. I had fun last week. Did you?
It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Talking about conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah. You know, I thought about this afterwards. I had an uncle that he was great with wood. I mean, he was always making stuff. He had a little wood shop, and he built the wood shop himself. Put an air conditioner in it. Here in Florida, you got to have that. And he would go out there and just spend hours working on stuff. And so he bought a radio. It's a different kind of radio. This was back in the 60s and the 70s. He bought this real nice radio, put it up on a shelf. He put it on the channel that he wanted to listen to. He put it right at the volume that he liked to listen to. And after he got everything just the way he wanted it, he pulled the knobs off so nobody could touch it.
Nobody could touch it. Couldn't change it.
And it made me think of that's the way it is a lot with conspiracy theories.
It is.
You know, they put it on the right wavelength that they want it. They put it, just right, just like that, and then they pull all the knobs off.
Yeah. Well, there is, there is a great value in daring to ask questions and question the narrative, and not be afraid to ask questions where you might come up with some different answers.
Yeah.
And you need a source of truth to anchor it back to. We've suggested in the previous episode, if you missed it, go back and watch it, that you have to anchor the truth in God's Word.
Right.
That's our starting point.
Right.
And so with that said, we're going to take the next few minutes and talk about some well-known conspiracy theories.
Well-known.
Share our own quasi-intellectual, we're going to share our opinion. And we're going to talk about what we think about them. And hopefully entertain you a little bit, but also give you some stuff to think about. So don't go anywhere.
Yep.
We'll be right back. Hey, it's me again, and I just wanted to take a moment and invite you to check something out. It doesn't cost you a dime, but I think that it's something you might really enjoy. The Church at 434, where I'm the pastor, where Chris Whaley is on staff, we have an app, and that app is absolutely free. You can find it by going to the App Store for iPhones. Just type in the Church at 434, or go to Google Play for Android phones. Again, the Church at 434. And when you get there, you're going to find a number of resources that are designed just for you to encourage you in your spiritual growth, in your walk with Christ. There's going to be some things that will entertain you, that you'll laugh at, that will be fun. And you can also tap in and watch our worship services. You can see some of the films that we've made. You can see some of the activities that we've got, and you can connect to the ministry of the Church of 434, where Chris and I are a part of that on a weekly basis, and we would love for you to join us and become a part of that network with us. And so, check out the Church at 434 app in the App Store or in Google Play, and you can visit with us there. Also, you can email us right through that app, and we'd love to hear from you. Just say, hey, I got the app, and I like it. If you get the app and you don't like it, we don't want to hear from you. But that's a whole different thing. Let's get back to the clash. Yeah, I just heard a horrible conspiracy that while we were away at the commercial break, somebody was trying to take us off the air.
Really?
They did, yeah, but we made it back.
We made it back.
That wasn't true.
Yeah, okay.
We're back. We're here. We're here. And because we're talking about conspiracy theories. And we're going to talk specifically about some stuff that you have probably heard about if you're at all versed in this world of conspiracy theorists. What's your first one?
The moon landing.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's
Now,
a conspiracy?
Jeff, I remember I think it wasn't in July 1969. I think it was.
Apollo 11.
It was on a Sunday night, I think,
Sure.
after church.
Yeah.
We were over at some friend's house after church on a Sunday night, and they had their TV on, and we watched it as they, got out of the spaceship and stepped down, and he made those infamous words, "One small step for
Man.
one giant leap for
Mankind.
mankind." I watched that.
I did.
As a little boy. I watched that. But my grandfather, we saw him a couple of weeks afterwards. My grandfather believed professional wrestling was real and the moonshot was fake.
Well, I mean, and the theory runs so far that that NASA staged all those Apollo moon landings in a studio.
Yeah.
In an effort.
Yeah.
To win the space race.
Right.
Against Russia at the time.
Right.
But we never went. But we also, no one ever proved that we didn't, right? And so that is, now, okay. I mean, this answer kind of sounds dumb, but so why is that such a big deal if we didn't go?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think if the conspiracy theory is true and we didn't go and we faked it, it basically undercuts one of the greater achievements scientifically for all humankind, right? I mean, it basically pulls the plug on what has to be one of the breakthrough moments in human history. If you think about it, I mean, it's the only time that we put people on another, not a planet, but a moon, where they walked somewhere besides Earth. I mean, if that's not true, that's pretty brutal.
Right.
So again, I mean, let's shoot some holes in that though. Okay. How do you disprove that conspiracy theory?
How do you disprove it?
How do you disprove it?
Well, I guess you'd have to go to the moon and see if that, little car that they drove around is up
Still
there. They didn't bring that back.
No, they didn't. There should be flags up there.
The flags up there, yeah, and so some other stuff is still up there. So I guess you'd have to go up there and see if it's there.
Well, you also have. I mean, we also have, moon rocks, right? Those rock samples. I mean, people, and again, people never think about this, but we here in America, here on the coast of Florida and in Houston, weren't the only people in the world tracking the Apollo spacecraft.
Right.
Right. I mean, it was being watched and seen by people all over the world and tracked by radar systems all over the planet. Yeah. That had we not gone, had we not done what we said we were doing, we're not. I mean, it wasn't that NASA had the exclusive on knowing what was happening out there. They had the details, but it was, people were very aware what we were doing, and they were all watching it with great interest. It kind of, in some ways, it kind of galvanized the world for just a few minutes. Well,
we had the advantage of not being very far at all from Kennedy Space Center, and matter of fact, I took my grandson over. That was my Christmas present to him, taking him to Kennedy Space Center. But we had the ability to go over and watch the space launch. I mean, I saw, Jeff, at least 3 or 4 shuttles go up. I mean, I was right across the little lake there looking right at it whenever those big engines kicked in and that thing went up. You've been to launch, haven't you?
I've been to them, yeah.
I mean, we've seen it. It's got to go somewhere.
It's going somewhere, yeah. Yeah. And back in the day, rockets didn't do what they do now. No. They don't go up and just land on a barge at sea. That's an Elon Musk trick. Yeah. But he's the only one that's been able to pull that off with any kind of success. SpaceX, that's a whole different animal. But these series of moonshots were repeated. It wasn't just one and done. It wasn't just Apollo 11. Right. Apollo 12. Right. Apollo 13, of course, ran into trouble. We had to get that one back. Yeah. 14, 15. I mean, it just continued to run to the point where, because it was repeatable, that too greatly dispels the conspiracy theory.
Right.
Because if they hadn't been able to repeat it, then there'll always be that question, well, did you really do it the first time?
Yeah.
And we did it once, we'll do it again. And we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And
next year we're supposed to go to the moon next year.
yeah,
Right.
we'll find out whether it's true or not.
Yeah, and Trump wants to put some kind of nuclear something up there on the moon.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
And it'll have big letters across the top, Trump. It'll light up at night and be seen
Just to
throughout
make
the
them mad.
galaxy. Yeah, just Trump Tower, Trump, Trump, whatever it is, Trump Moon Base, whatever. It will be 5-star, I have no doubt. So
Yeah.
okay, all right. So that's one. What else do you have by way of conspiracy?
Now, this one, Jeff, just blows me away. But we have a group of people, especially today, that are called flat earthers. Have you heard that one?
I have.
And that one, for the life of me, I've been in planes, haven't you?
I have.
I know we don't do it willingly. We don't like to go up
No, I
there.
don't like them either. Yeah.
But my goodness, you just fly and fly and fly, and if the world was flat, where's all this water going? And
Well, I mean, yeah, the belief is that the world is flat, and that space agencies have somehow faked global imagery, right? I mean, what we've seen for years by way of globe and just how the Earth is supposed to look, and how time and how we've divided with timelines and longitude and latitude. I mean, all of that
right,
is fake.
right.
All a creation of man. Flat earthers.
Well, you can't get me on the moon one, because I believe that one,
Okay.
and you sure can't get me on this one,
Okay.
because I mean, I've been on some pretty high mountains, and you look out, and the Earth just has a curve to it.
Sure.
And you're not going to get me on your team to be a flat earther.
Well, I mean, satellite imagery,
Yeah.
right? Star rotation patterns, basic physics. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff
Right.
that disproves this.
Right.
And yet, it has had a resurgence over the last few years, as crazy as that is, right?
Yeah.
Flat earthers.
And of course, they're not going to believe the moon thing, because they took pictures from the moon of
course.
the planet, and the planet is
But
round.
since we filmed that in a studio,
Yeah, so
it
they're
was
not
easier
going to believe
yeah.
that.
Well, and here's how you know. This is how you disprove to any flat earther
Yeah.
that their theory is real. Because if we had a flat Earth, we would have a tourist stand and a gift shop right at the edge, right? And that doesn't exist anywhere. And so because it doesn't exist, there's no way that can be easily dispelled. All right. You have any more?
Yeah, I've got one. This probably take up too much time because we got a break coming up, but the 9/11 conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and that's what's tragic about that, though,
Yeah.
is that conspiracy theory is it hints of the fact that whoever those insiders were willing to sacrifice thousands of lives to make whatever point the theorists say they're trying to make.
Oh, goodness. I remember that day, Jeff. I remember that day.
That was tough, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I turned on the TV just in time to see the second plane going into the South Tower, I think it was. It was tragic. And I think people really step out of line when they start coming up with theories on that it was an inside job.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, looking at them and even looking at them a little bit before we did this episode, I mean, those theories, the theories are dumb, and so easily disproven. I mean, some simple things like, well, it wasn't possible for planes crashing into buildings to compromise the structure so much that it would collapse twice. And the truth of the matter is, I mean, you talk to any engineer that's worth their salt that understands the way that explosions and heat works over an extended period of time, how those stress points were created so quick, so fast.
Yeah.
That there was nothing. There's no building code in place that prevents that type of attack, but I mean that type of impact.
And nobody would expect something like that.
So there's nothing that we ever did that built to ward that off.
Right.
And so any reputable scientific look basically proves that yes, you could bring buildings down with planes, even though I have a feeling that those that attacked us, Osama bin Laden, I don't think he ever thought the buildings would fall.
Mm.
I think that was for him an evil bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people out there that really spout that theory out. And and in my mind, that's one of those theories where if you miss that, you just miss so many other things that are just so simple.
Right.
Because that makes the assumption that those lives in the towers that day were worth sacrificing for some reason to draw us into a conflict in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And that's just and for most conspiracy theorists, so that is a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Most have a hard time getting on that
Yeah.
one.
It's idiotic.
Yeah, it is. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about conspiracy theories in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Hey there, stop whatever you're doing right now. Get your phone out and go ahead and aim it right here at the screen at the QR code right in front of you. Because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, I'm having such a great time watching The Clash, but there's been some episodes that I've missed. Well, if you take a picture of that QR code and follow it to the website, you're going to discover all the episodes of The Clash that you might have missed on a channel called The Church at 434 in Motion. 434 in Motion has that and a lot of other resources, and we would love for you to catch back up on what you've missed. Every day there's brand new programming that comes out, and we want you to be a part of it. Now, hey, relax. It doesn't cost you a dime. It costs you a little bit of time, but it's well worth it because it's time well spent. Actually, it's almost like you're making money at it. So use the QR code, come find us, see the episodes of The Clash that you missed, and let's get back to the show. Hey, Chris, I was just doing my laundry, and look what I found.
Oh my goodness, look at that. The Clash.
The Clash t-shirt.
I love that.
You know what makes it so special?
Why?
Well, because this is the Clash TV show. This is our logo. This came out of my laundry bucket. That means that these t-shirts are available for everybody to buy. And that means that when you need to do some shopping, that special gift, think about it.
Yep.
You've been invited to a wedding.
Right.
You buy a wedding present for the bride and groom.
Wow.
Matching Clash t-shirts.
How awesome
Every
would that
home
be?
needs that. When they have a baby, what do you want to get the baby?
A onesie.
A onesie, a Clash onesie. You can get that as well.
Right.
If you're looking for that extra special gift for a loved one,
Right.
you can go to the Clash store and get a Clash journal. You can get Clash magnets. You can get Clash widgets and gadgets and keychains. All of that is available. All you have to do is visit the Clash store.
We live in a great day, Jeff.
We do. And perhaps the greatest store out there is the Clash store. So follow the QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can go to the Clash store and get stuff of your very own. It'll make us happy. It'll make the show even better. And you can put on your Clash gear while you watch every single episode of the Clash.
Absolutely. Hey, welcome back to The Clash. We're talking about conspiracy theories, and we've named some of them. The moon landing and the flat earthers and the 9/11. But Jeff, one of my favorites, and I'm going to let you kick this one off, is the Area 51 conspiracy. Now, people out there don't know this, but we are recording in the Area 51 building here on the campus of the church at 434.
We are, yes.
Yeah.
We named it that because Jesus tells us we are not of this world. And so we say Area 51 is the launching place that you can begin to reverse engineer and understand how we are not of this world, that we are created for more and there's more to explore and more to do. And so we kind of just nicknamed it that. We have a lot of fun with it. The cord that you can't see in the studio it's just loaded with all sorts of Star Trek, X-Files, Men in Black, alien type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to come hang out. So if you're ever in the Central Florida area, come on by and visit us.
Tell me about the Area 51.
Area 51 is that place where people believe that the U.S. government has actually captured, taken, re-engineered alien spacecraft, that we may actually have done autopsies on aliens themselves that have been captured in crashes, and is that place, that top secret place of national defense where we hold all of the secrets.
Do you believe this one?
Do I believe it?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it. I mean, I believe it's a place that we test spacecraft and we test state-of-the-art things. Do I believe there's aliens that have crashed there? No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't. Do you?
I don't know enough to make a
You're
informed
still out,
decision.
right? Ah, yeah, there we go. See, now we're tapping in. We're tapping into this is where we get to. Yeah. I mean, it's really funny because, again, now, because I would say this, though, that because the government has clamped down so much on it, I mean, you can get shot for walking into Area 51,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think the government has not helped itself
Right.
in trying to dispel the myth of Area 51. But again, I mean, let's go full on conspiracy here, though, right? If you want to hide something in plain sight, why not go ahead and create your own conspiracy with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Why not?
People talk about it, they think about it, they'll believe whatever they want to believe about it, and they'll create new stuff to believe about it, maybe far worse than anything you're doing out there.
Yeah. I love that in Independence Day, when the dad was they're on Air Force One, and he makes that, yeah, that Area 51, you guys can, and the president says, no, you've been listening to these conspiracy theories, and the other one says, his chief of staff that says, that's not exactly true, Mr. President. And they take it there, and then that just illuminates all of the conspiracy theories.
Oh, sure it does.
Yeah,
Oh, sure it does.
yeah.
At the end of the day, here in Central Florida, if you go back and read the original Roswell crash, which of course, and that of course then prompts the beginning of what we know of Area 51. One of the lead characters in that story has claimed residence here in Central Florida for many, many years, Joe Kittinger.
Mm.
And he is written about as being involved in finding this alien spacecraft and the alien and stuff like that.
Right.
So much so that a few years ago, he, on the event they were having out at Roswell, he was being interviewed on Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, and talking about being there and stuff like that. Of course, he said there's no aliens to it and stuff like that. That night, I'm performing a wedding, and he is a guest, and so we go to this downtown Orlando upper floor restaurant for this wedding reception, and I know he's there. And I've already seen him on TV earlier today.
Yeah.
And so I start working the room like you always do it, to say hello before you leave and stuff like that.
Right.
And I sit down at his table and I say, okay, I want you to know I'm a man of God. So you're not going to lie to me, right? He goes, no, I'm not going to lie to you. And so he goes, what do you want to know? I said, I want to know what really happened. I said, I heard you on the news this morning. I heard what you said. Tell me about the aliens. And he just belly laughed.
He did.
And he goes, I would tell you, but I don't believe you have security clearance to know these things. And I mean, that's what he said to me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I walked away that night completely terrified. Oh my gosh, this could be real. And so to this day, it's created an element of doubt in me that, because I talked to the guy.
Yeah.
And he told me that I didn't have clearance to know these things.
Yeah.
He's probably right. I don't have clearance.
There you go. Well, I know we've got several, and we're not going to be able to cover all of them, but
Sure.
One of them that I'm kind of in this camp is the anti-vaccine conspiracy theories.
Well, what? Explain that to me. What is that?
Yeah, well, they back during COVID and the vaccines and all. There's I don't know exactly all the things they were saying about them, but I just knew that I didn't get the vaccine.
Okay.
I didn't get it. Didn't want it. Still don't want it. Every time I go to Walgreens, would you like your COVID shot? No, I would not.
Okay.
And the mask. The mask did not help anything. And so I think that there was a lot of truth on that. But you can just call me a nut on this one, Jeff.
Well, I'm not going to call you a nut because, again, I think as time has gone by, and we're really close to the events surrounding this one, right? I mean, I think the conclusion of that is because, there are a lot of people that think that there was a lot that took place, with the vaccines and stuff like that, that really is the stuff of conspiracy theory. This one's hard to nail to the wall, though, because there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think you had a couple pieces of truth, though, right? We talked about truth in the previous episode.
Right.
COVID is real.
Yeah.
It was very real. And again, anybody that had it, I've had it 5 times.
I have too.
So, and it's bad. I mean, it's brutal, and so it is as bad as any flu that I've ever had. And of course, COVID is a strand of flu, and of course we have a new name for it now. And then when it says COVID, and gets terrified. It's been determined scientifically that the paper mask did not work. They were more of a placebo to make people feel better. But unless you had that N95 mask on, you were just wasting your time.
That
with
one didn't work
cloth
either because I was on a plane and I got COVID.
Well, that's because you're a carrier, because you're a conspiracy nut.
That's right. I'm a carrier.
But the those kind of masks that were going to be at all effective. People weren't buying those at the Walgreens or the drugstores they could go to.
Right.
And of course, a vaccine that was rushed through, that all of a sudden became mandated.
Yeah.
For you to go certain places and do certain things. Now that is the realm where all of a sudden conspiracy theories people went nuts, and people who aren't conspiracy theorists went nuts too, because that's the kind of stuff from the X-Files. Right, where they're using those vaccines, and they're putting those proteins in your body, and those markers are going to stay there without any idea of what the impact of that's going to have.
Right.
And man, I got stories of post-vaccination issues with people, self-included. And so I mean, there's time is going to tell whether that conspiracy theory has enough truth in it to have legs and keep going or not. Because again, that one may be one that we find out years later from now there's a lot of truth in.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy theories of where the vaccine even came from.
Well, take us out with one. I mean,
how about the JFK assassination?
Oh wow, yeah.
Right. I mean, where you remember? What do you remember about that?
It was 1963. I was 9 years old, and I still remember my teacher making the announcement to my fourth grade class that the president had just been assassinated.
Yeah,
I remember that. But then all the other stuff came up years later, I would say, saying that was an inside job also.
Yeah, that's what the theories are.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, I have seen and heard. I've been to the book depository. I've been to the museum there. Looked out that window. I've been to the museum there. That was a heck of a shot.
Yep,
heck of a shot. There's just a whole lot of unanswered questions about it. I'm not, I can buy the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only shooter.
Yeah.
But I also can see and hear and understand why there's folks who don't really buy completely into it. I can see it. I mean, just like I just said, it's a heck of a shot.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Right.
But there's a lot of other evidence out there that they've really failed to give good answers to.
Right.
But again, it's fascinating, and it continues to grow. It's not going to go away.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to grow. And there are a lot of people, matter of fact, a lot of Americans, when surveyed, really do believe. They believe Kennedy was assassinated. That's a fact. But they don't believe they've heard the whole story.
Right.
They believe that it's a cover-up. Everything from Russians to CIA to the mob. I mean, the inside job. I mean, all of that very much is very real and still bubbling out there.
Well, didn't Trump say he was going to open the files on that?
He did. He hasn't yet.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, that's another one of those times where it opens the door for people to become distrustful of government.
Yeah.
Because it was the Warren report that came out so quickly.
Yeah.
That did not do a great job of dispelling a lot of the questions that are out there.
Yep.
And I think that sometimes half the battle is not to ignore the questions. And I think a lot of times people get upset because the questions get ignored.
Right.
And left in a vacuum, they create their own scenarios. They create what they believe to be real.
We're going to have to close it up, Jeff.
I know. Have to close the conspiracy theories.
Yep.
Can be done.
Yep.
What do we need to know before we leave?
Don't tap out.